Well, hello. Welcome to Tarot 2T. Today we're going to do a March 2023 reading for the sign of Virgo. And if this is the first time to my channel, welcome. Glad to see you here. If you're returning, welcome back. Thank you so much for your support. This will be a general inquiry. What message does Virgo need to hear for March 2023? Big thank you to anyone who's a subscriber and or a donator to my virtual tip jar, which can be found at the bottom of the description box if you're interested in going there to show your appreciation. Okay, what message does Virgo need to hear for March 2023? What's going on in your world, Virgo? As we close out February and March into March. Cards of advice are coming out now. Whoa. Nope, can't do half the deck. That never works. You might have seen that. That's actually nice. It's a good card for your advice. Okay, let's go ahead and get into it. It wants to come out. 4 clubs. Starting off on a good solid foundation here in your home and your lifestyle. So that means nothing's going on there. You're pretty settled where you're at. You're not needing to relocate or make other arrangements how you live. You're able to meet your bills. Everything's stable and balanced there. That's really good. 8 of Diamonds. You might be pursuing some kind of solo entrepreneurial pursuit, such as a side business, a side hustle, just looking for ways to increase your income. Or you have been in the process of this, and now you're reaping the rewards from that. Because it does talk about the rewards that are coming from those efforts. Jack of Spades. Could be dealing with an air sign, Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini, a younger air sign to be specific. Now, if it is a person, on the outside they're very charming. They've drawn you in some way. There's some kind of camaraderie there. But, there's a big but. They may have a big but. Who knows? They're up to some kind of mischievousness, not necessarily out to destroy you or screw you over, but they have a hidden agenda. I mean, these cards are really positive, so I'm not sure if you're dealing with somebody that perhaps you don't realize they have that hidden agenda. They're in other words, they're a little bit two-faced, right? It could also mean that you're not trusting some kind of situation, or just in general, you're just in this kind of suspicious mode. That's how I interpret the Jack of Spades when it applies to the person or sign I'm reading for. But there's some kind of change that needs to come in or is happening because something's been stagnant. I have a feeling it's connected to you seeking out or putting an effort towards more income, finances. Because otherwise, things look pretty, I dare say ordinary here. I mean, there's nothing, I don't see like a stuck relationship necessarily, for example. But the 5 of Clubs denotes that something has been standing still for a while, and it just needs an overhaul, a change. I mean, it could be this stuck, honestly, this stuck mindset of not trusting. I think your last reading actually, for some reason I'm remembering some traces of that. If you'd like to see that last reading, you have a playlist on my channel for Virgo, and it will also pop up at the end of the video. The last couple videos will pop up, or you can go to the playlist that pops up in the right hand corner. You are on some kind of journey here to gain some kind of personal growth. It pretty much is across the board. It could be emotionally, spiritually, mentally, financially, materially, but there's a lot of opportunities here opening up for you, which is really good to see with that Five of Clubs energy. So it's like I'm sensing that you were stuck in some kind of situation or just a stuckness for a while, and now that's all freed up for some reason. It could be your hard work and effort that you have put in, that you initiated with that Eight of Diamonds. Doesn't necessarily mean a work situation or business. It's just something that you put a lot of effort in and you're reaping the rewards. And especially with that Six of Clubs, it's like maybe you've learned from past circumstances that you need to do things differently. The Seven of Diamonds does warn against taking unnecessary financial risks and gambles. So that tells me that you do have some abundance that has come in, that has changed over the course of things here. Abundance can take abundance can take many different forms. It doesn't mean that you have a big fat bank account, but you need to be careful with it and use it wisely in whatever form that takes. Wow. Another 7. So the 7s talk about internal experiences usually. And this one is a broken heart. I mean, you've been hurt or let down by somebody. Now that could be why you're stuck in Jack of Spades mode. Suspicious, not trusting. Disappointment, loss. Somebody that was out of this world, fantastic in the beginning, and then just soured, you know? It's that kind of situation with the Seven of Hearts. Doesn't mean it's happening now. It could have happened in the recent past, and you still have the fallout from that. But it looks to me like things are very stable in the home. You're making some positive changes somewhere. Not exactly seeing how that's playing out. And you're on this road to personal growth in some ways. So you're actually going to mature and level up and go on to the next chapters in your life, whatever journeys that you need to go on, whatever paths you need to follow. Things are very up in the air with you with the Black and White Joker. It's also the Fool card. In traditional tarot, this would be the Fool card. Many readers see this as a new start. You could certainly see it that way, especially in the context of what I just described. It's also, to me, it's that reminder that we don't know what's headed our way. We don't know what's coming around the road. You know, we tend to think that we have everything figured out. And it's linear and it's going to go A, B, C, D, you know. And you know how life goes. It throws you curveballs. Not necessarily all the time, but what we thought would be a certain way many times is not. It doesn't turn out exactly how we pictured it. It's this kind of a reality check that no matter what's ahead of you, you don't have a crystal ball, and we only have so much control over those things. The King of Spades, again, air energy. Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini. Not necessarily seeing this as you. I mean, it can be. The King denotes some kind of power and authority. I tend to see the King as a person, for example, taking control. Now, you could have somebody around you that has some kind of control over you. Or this could be you taking that control. I will tell you, if it's not a person around you, and let's say you are taking control of your life in some way, you're not in agreement with people around you for some reason. Because this King of Spades, they're very practical minded. They do have good business sense. They're a solid character. But the thing is, there's some kind of issue where they're disagreeing with somebody. They're not on the same page. You know, they're perceived as causing problems. But it's not necessarily a problem if it's just your point of view. Right? If it's just if it's just the way you feel about things, it can't be a problem. It just is what it is. I kind of see that as you. Especially, I think the change that you initiated at some point is you taking that control. I just think with Virgo, you tend to have this suspicious nature. I don't think this is necessarily like something new. It's just kind of an energy that you have. You don't just trust anyone who comes along. I mean, maybe on the surface, it's easy for you to make friends, but you always kind of the hermit is your archetype. So you tend to be in hermit mode. You're fine on your own. For example, you don't need to constantly be attached to somebody or something. King of Hearts, Ten of Spades. So the Ten of Spades tells me you did come out of something pretty traumatic. It's a significant loss. That pain over here is connected with that, more than likely. But you're taking control of your emotions with that King of Hearts. I definitely see that as you. It's also water sign energy. I'll just put that out there. Scorpio, Pisces, or Cancer. But the Ten of Spades is a significant chapter that closed in your life. And yeah, you're going forward. I mean, everything out here was like forward, especially with personal growth. So that tells me you're not hanging on to it. You just have this residual pain that you kind of carry around with you. But I don't think it's something you're consciously like in this mode of bitterness and anger and resentment. I just think it's, when we're wounded, we have scars. Yeah, it's just about having the scars from that. But you've definitely made those changes in some way to get yourself unstuck. So let's go ahead and look at your cards of advice. Three of Spades. You're still worried about things. You're being pulled in a couple different directions. Probably doesn't have to do with two people. It's just stress and worry, perhaps where you're headed. I'm kind of getting that. Especially with the energy of things being up in the air and not knowing what's ahead. Not really sure what that's about. I mean, it could be just in general. I'm not picking up like where you're headed in career or where you're headed in relationships, because I don't see either of those really highlighted. It's just kind of an overall concern. There's some kind of stress though here around work. Maybe the work that you've been putting into yourself has become too much. So sometimes it's not literally our employment. But in any context, it is an indication of over exertion, whether that's too many hours, spent on an internal process or just overthinking things, or too many hours being put in on the job. It's affecting you emotionally, mentally, and physically, more than likely. And I think perhaps it's holding on to this suspicion and just distrust. For example, I could see that fitting with what I know about your sign and my personal dealings with Virgos. Nonetheless, it's asking you to relieve that stress, because you did just have this stress and worry here as well. So there is some kind of stress here that apparently is in your control, and you need to figure out how to lessen that or take the burden off yourself. The Six of Hearts was exciting. That flipped out when I was shuffling. New opportunities coming your way in terms of meeting somebody significant. Now it could be romance, or just could be like a really good friend or a business partner. But you're going to have those options and opportunities coming your way. Again, remember, we don't have a crystal ball with the full energy. So whatever happened here in the past where you got hurt, and I do think it might have even been this Ten of Spades, honestly. things are looking up for you. Things are looking bright. Very clear message there. 7 of Clubs. It's the card of feeling confined and like you're trapped. I don't completely understand how that would relate to relieving the stress, except that if you don't relieve the stress, that's probably the way to interpret that. If you don't relieve the stress, you're going to remain trapped in that. It could be as literal as that. And perhaps the 6 of Hearts is just kind of a side note saying, hey, brighten up, lighten up. Because good things are headed your way, especially emotionally. But there's either a sense of entrapment or that you're stuck somewhere, or this is the risk that you take if this relief doesn't come. I'm kind of leaning towards that way, honestly, because I don't see you being stuck down here necessarily, especially with that 5 of Clubs and the change that was initiated somewhere along the way. You are desiring companionship here. So again, with the 6 of Hearts, you do have something to look forward to. We'll see if that other card comes out about getting out and socializing, but it may require that you come out of your hermit mode if you've been isolating or just spending a lot of time alone. But you desire that companionship and connectedness to probably somebody, because the 2 usually just talks about dealings going on between 2 people, not a group. King of Diamonds, it may involve an earth sign, or this could be you, but I tend to see, I don't know, I always see Taurus with this, or the Queen of Diamonds. But it could be Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn that you're dealing with. The King of Diamonds is very good with finances, very good with money. This could be also you taking control of your financial situation, because I did kind of see some indications down here about that. It could be that that's key to your future, because again, we are looking at your advice. But King of Diamonds, very, very practical when it comes to budgeting, making money, as well as keeping it and spending it. Usually very practical. What other cards of advice, please, for Virgo for March 2023? Yeah, you could be coming into a windfall here. So that King of Diamonds tells me it's probably you taking real control in some way, and it's probably from outside influences. Some kind of abundance is coming your way, but there is also a risk here, or not a risk, a warning here to avoid extravagant spending. And you did have the 7 of Diamonds down here, which talked about warning against gambling and crazy financial risks. So I do think there's some abundance wrapped up in you for the month of March 2023, either that's coming your way, or it's already arrived, or you're in the process of bringing that, drawing that towards you, attracting it. Five of Spades. This is the breakup card. There's something you need to break yourself off of, from, or of. Could be a person. It really could be a person, although I haven't seen anything out here talking to me about some kind of relationship you have going on at the moment, Virgo. I think it's breaking off from a situation or a behavior or a mindset, especially with the stress and the need for stress relief. Again, I see that kind of tying into, if you don't, you're going to remain trapped in it. It's as literal as that. There's nothing else to say about that entrapment or that confinement. It's just like, you're going to be stuck in that. You're going to be stuck in that. Even though you may have made changes here to get yourself unstuck in other ways, This could also be that you're still in this ongoing process of unsticking yourself. And the indication with the advice is you definitely need to take yourself out of the picture and remove yourself from that. One more card of advice, please. Yes. An Ace of Hearts. It means you're following your heart's desire. Now, that does not mean romantically. Just, you're no longer compromising yourself. You're no longer sacrificing your values for someone or something else. It's a new start as well. That encapsulates basically that advice that you need to figure out perhaps what you truly desire, start working in that direction, break yourself off from this dark energy. This is heavy, heavy energy with these spades. That stress, that worry, whatever that's about for you. Now, this is a general reading, and I very often don't see particulars. I just kind of see that emotional imprint of what's, transpiring with you. So whatever stress, the source of that stress is, you would know how it fits your situation. And if it doesn't fit, by all means, don't make it fit. Maybe this reading doesn't pertain to you at all, and that's okay. You can always come back and check out another reading. But do remember, you have good things coming your way, Virgo. So I don't know if you're kind of in this depressed mode, but you need to focus on relieving that stress. And that new start may be an aid in that. That may be the key thing for you that's going to turn everything and break yourself off from it, right? You do have very good cards of abundance. Finances are looking very good. And we kind of started off with that things are very stable in your lifestyle in your home. But you're desiring this companionship. So that tells me you are looking for a relationship. So I'm talking to probably single Virgos out there. But find your way out of this. I would say that's your central focus, because you don't want to remain trapped in that. Okay, I'm going to end it there. Interesting reading. Thank you for joining me. I hope you gained some insight, some understandings maybe that occurred to you while we were going through this. If you would like to see the next reading, make sure to hit subscribe notifications, or just come back, check in with my channel. Again, if you would like to make a donation, show your appreciation for the reading today, that link could be found in the bottom of the description box. The easiest way to do it is just to copy and paste it, and it brings you right there. It's really, really pretty simple. Okay, thank you for joining me again. I will see you soon. Take care.